Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to share some of our efforts, sediment efforts in protecting the NSR. And today's presentation will be not two parts, just two topics here. First is stormwater management and combined sewer overflow management. I will talk about the stormwater part, and Mohammed will come after talk about combined sewer overflow. So this is the outline of the presentation, which is overview the COE's strategic plans in terms of the total loading reduction, stormwater quality control, and the CS control, and show you some result, and just share with you what we're going to do next. So this slide shows the vision of drainage services in terms of our commitment to the environment. For sure, we want to be the stewardship of environment protection and also mitigate the water quality impact to the river by reducing the contaminant from what we discharge into the river. In general, and we can kind of classify the pollutant into the river into two groups. One is primary contaminant, and the second we call secondary contaminant. And 5 key parameters within the primary contaminant category are bacteria, BOD, ammonia, nutrients, and PSX. Our City of Edmonton commitment to the water quality of NSR can be reflected in several areas. And the first one, for sure, is the regulatory compliance. We have this approval to operate, usually it's a 10-year term license under the urban environment. And under this approval to operate, there are a couple of plans required from both the collection side and the treatment side. And those total loadings, stormwater qualities, the CSO discharge strategies, which I'm going to talk about, are clearly written under the approval to operate. We must comply. In addition to the regulatory compliance, COE also committed through our environmental plan. I don't know how many people in this room know that city has already developed a corporate environmental plan called the We Be Green. Thanks, Graham. And under that, there is a couple of goals identified. The goal number 4, called water quality in NSR, sustain healthy people and ecosystem. Drainage services, as a branch of within City of Edmonton, we are falling behind this plan and support this. And also, we are actively engaged through the partnership in regional watershed protection. For example, we are part of a review of the NSWS integrated watershed management plan. So talking about our commitment to reduce the discharge into the river, and our approach, our commitment is through the total loadings reduction. And in terms of the sources of loadings from cities, territory, basically there are 3 main contributors, 3 sources. Edmonton have a very unique system, and designed by genius New York engineers back to early late 90s or early 90s, and they're called combined sewer. Sanitary, storm, everything goes to one line. And now it's turned out to be a big environmental concern from the river quality side. We call it combined sewer overflow, and also the pollutant discharge from the storm runoff. And another contributor is effluent from the Goldbar. All together will have impact to the river. This slide shows you the loading distributions in 10 years window, a little bit more than 10 years. And from the three components of city genesis, combined sewer storm, and wastewater treatment plant, you can see that majority of the TSS is coming from our stormwater. And our baseline TSS loading, we kind of discuss, negotiate, and agreed up by our environment is 28, pretty a little bit above 28,000 kilograms per day. So this is target TSS loading we want to keep by 2020. How we achieve this total loading reductions? So under this, in order to achieve the target of maintain the loading, total loading, at this moment, this total loading, we only target on the total suspended solid TSS. So how to achieve that? So under that, we have a couple of strategies developed, and so I outlined these 4 key strategies. For the time limit today, we can only elaborate the first 2 strategies, stormwater quality strategy and CSO, and also this approach had to be supported through the public and outreach educations, and also through the performance monitoring and assessment. And talking about stormwater quality strategy, and there are some key elements there, and which includes the storm basin retrofit. Basically, it's a green, I call a green-blue infrastructure, and which includes in the pipe a constructed wetland, and later on I'll show you a few examples, and also some upstream or source control best management practices. And in this the water quality management strategy, we also have the innovative stormwater design policy and guidelines, and also promoting some technical tools and partnering, networking, education, and outreach. So this slide shows you some end-of-pipe treatment facility we have already constructed in City of Edmonton. First one is the Kennedale wetland, which started construction in 2009. We finished in 2010, and also we got this Federation of Canadian Municipality Award in 2010. So this wetland actually treats some of the storm runoff coming from the Kennedale storm basin, which have more than 7,000 hectares, and the reduction target is about 1,100 kilograms per day. The second, at the bottom, is we call blue infrastructure. The reason blue is concrete, not pure water and grass, right? And because the limit at the side, we can't afford to build a wetland. Instead, we build a so-called underground facility. Basically, it's a storm scepter and media filtering system. Storm scepter treats the coarser sand, while the one on the bottom right is the fine sand treatment facility, like cartridge, with a lot of the media contained inside. The purpose is to treat the fine sand, and the target is trying to reduce the TSS by 700 kilograms per day. So this facility was constructed in 2011, and the monitoring is underway. So this is the source control. Some of them are conventional methods, some is a little bit of a new BNP, which you can see the picture tell itself. Storm scepter, we have wet pump in the communities, and no structural, including our trailer service guy, trailer operation, do the city cleaning, manhole cleaning. In the new construction land development, we have erosion and sediment control guidelines enforced, and also we do sweeping to clean up the sand we dumped on the road during the winter time. Next slide, please. And in terms of the innovation or new ways of managing stormwater, and city are developing various strategies and technical tools. And what we try to do is preserve natural area, integrate it into urban drainage system, try to maximize the use of natural areas, natural wetland, and also we try to construct the wetland. And the most important thing recently happened within the city is the low impact development, which is a way to mimic the natural hydrology process to treat the stormwater and where the rain falls. So we already developed the storm hydrology design guide, and this one shows you some planned construction wetland within the city. And right now, I think this number changed. I steal this slide from Lyndon's presentation before, and the number need to be up a little bit. Right now, we have a 12 built and 2 under construction and 4 planned. All stars shows different status of the wetland. And talking about the low impact development, we finished this design guide specifically for the Edmonton cold weather. There are tons of LID design guide if you Google it through the website. And but why we had to our own? There are a lot of developers. They started building their LIDs within cities content, but they don't have a local design guide to follow. So we have to tailor the LID requirement to a specific weather conditions. That's why how we develop this design guide. Design guide is already on the public website. It is open to everybody, free of charge. You can use it as reference. And also, this pictures show you a few LID features: green roof, bioswale, rain garden built within the city of Edmonton. And in terms of technical tools, we have several studies being finished and carry on. I won't, elaborate one-to-one all of them. And this is our principle: keep finding state-of-the-art technology and try to implement as much as we can. Next one. And also, we do a lot of monitoring. Liliana, who's still in the room right now, her group is taking care of monitoring all of the our stormwater management facility, their performance. And currently, we are monitoring the recently completed Kendall wetland. And although we don't have a lot of data to show you, but the preliminary data really shows the promising result or the efficiency from this wetland. Next one, please. Okay, network, in terms of partnering networking, we internally team up with many departments working in different projects and try to promote the new way of stormwater management, especially LID. Those are lists of the projects we are participating in. And in terms of collaboration with the outside organizations like NSWA, Alberta Environment, and the Alberta Water Councils, we have done a lot of work in the last 5 years. And also, we are working with Alberta LID partnership called LIDP in promoting LID provincial-wide. And one of the successful stories City feel proud of to share is the public education program. We have SWOT program. We have this FOG called Fast, Oil and Grease. Store it, don't pour it. This program went so well, and we won the 2011, the first inaugural Canadian Wastewater Association Utility Excellence Award in large municipal category last year. Now I turn the speaker to Mohammed, who's our senior combined sewer engineer, talking about our strategy on controlled combined sewer overflows.
Thank you, Farid. So, This afternoon I can go through the CSO control strategy, which I'm looking from the last 4 years. And then we're going to go to the water quality monitoring, and then going to conclude my presentation. Combined sewer overflow strategy basically is started back in 1994. And basically we have 4,300 hectare area, which is about 13% of the developed area of City of Edmonton. So we have started this strategy in 1994, and a lot of consultants work we have done, and the strategy was developed back in 1999. Basically the main problem was bacteria in the North Saskatchewan River. So the question arises at that time that why we are not separating the sewer system, the combined sewer system. So we did a study, and we figured it out that basically there were 3 main issues with that. It's going to cost us $2 to $3 billion, which is of course not affordable. The second one is basically more disruptive to Edmontonian. And the third one is it's not solving the bacteria problem. So we started with this strategy so that we can address the bacteria problem in the North Saskatchewan River. So in 1999, basically, we developed this strategy. We basically developed an implementation plan, and we submitted that to Alberta Environment in June 2000. And in that implementation plan, you can see the snapshot here. Basically, there are 2 components here: the early action control plan and the long-term control plan. Early action control plan is basically looking to some fixing here and there, but a low-cost fixing. The long-term is kind of highly costly components there. But I'm going to go back to that implementation plan. Basically, 2 targets were set. Basically, the city set 2 targets for themselves. One was to increase the average annual capture of wet weather flow and treatment from 56% to 86%. And also, overflow to the river going to be reduced from 89 to 46. So basically, those 2 targets was set up for the City of Edmonton. And you can see that we have put all those upgrades there. And in the next few slides, I'm going to be talking one by one these upgrades there. This is a real-time control gate slides, and basically it is in the early action control plan. Basically, right now we have 3 real-time control gates in the city sewer system. In the City of Edmonton, we have basically very deep sewers there. We have tunnels, we have big trunks there, and that is an opportunity for us to put the real-time control gates there and put some inline storage. So it works like this way, that these automatic gates, if the downstream sewer system has capacity available, the gate gonna close, the gate gonna open and allow flows to go downstream and can be treated at Goldbar wastewater treatment plant. But if the downstream system has no capacity available, the gate will automatically close it and create a storage upstream there. So basically, we have right now 3 real-time control gates. We gave ABC, but basically it's RTC 4, 6, and 3. But we give ABC because we don't want to confuse you guys. RTC A is basically constructed in 2002. RTC B is constructed in 2004, and RTC C is basically under construction, and it will be finished at the end of this year. This is another component which we call it Great Creek Crossing. It's about 1.1 kilometer tunnel, 2.5 meter diameter, is going under the North Saskatchewan River. And basically the function of this one, after completion this year, at the end of this year, it's going to be in operation next year, is going to allow up to 15 cubic meter per second to Goldbar wastewater treatment plant. So right now, if you can imagine that if the W12 is not there, basically that flow, that 15 cms flows, gonna go to North Saskatchewan River. So it's a huge improvement, significant improvement. This is another component which we call it weir modifications. In the city of Edmonton, basically we have 19 CSO sites. When there is a rainfall there, it's going to overflow and go to the North Saskatchewan River. So we have done so many studies from 2002 to 2011, and we figured it out that there are 15 CSO sites out of 19 CSO sites. It has significant benefit if we're going to upgrade those ones. And the upgrade is going to be just increasing weir risk level or doing some other fixes there. So right now we have upgraded about 5 CSO sites. 2 of them we have closed it. The remaining 10 CSO sites we are doing construction and also doing design. This is another program which we have started in 2005. It is about the opportunistic sewer separation program, and basically we call it opportunistic. If we are going to the neighborhood and doing some rehab work, we have a 100-year-old system. So if we are doing any rehab work or we are doing any sewer upgrading, and if we gonna realize that basically separating the system is an incremental cost to the rehab work or the sewer upgrading work, we will do sewer separation. So we looked at the whole city, that 4,300 hectare area, and we figured it out that there are 9 sites there, 9 neighborhoods, that where we can easily do some sewer separations. And these sewer separations can separate about 320 hectare area. 3 out of 9, those projects have been completed, and other ones are in the design stage and then construction stage. And basically we allocated about $3 million per year to be spent on this program. This is about the Goldbar wastewater treatment plant. The upgrade, you can see those green in color, basically they have been constructed. So basically the CSO part has been completed there. And the main part there in the Goldbar wastewater treatment plant, because we are pushing more flows to Goldbar wastewater treatment plant, so we wanted to basically increase the capacity so that to handle those flows. So enhanced primary treatment plant was constructed, about $84 million we spent on that one, and it is in operation from 2010, I believe so. This is a chart which showing plant treatment level after the CSO implementation plan completed. As I mentioned earlier, that basically the implementation plan we submitted to Alberta Environment, it is started in 2000 and it will be completed in 2016. So it's going to be post-2016 treatment. So up to 1200 MLD, because now enhanced primary treatment plant that has been constructed, and as I mentioned, the $84 million price tag, is going to treat up to 1200 MLD. From 1200 to 2200 MLD is going to be just only screening, and beyond that is going to be bypassed to the river. Next time. This pie chart is basically showing that how much CSO we're going to be reducing. So I mentioned the RTC case is going to reduce the CSO 200,000. Basically, we did some monitoring too from 2004 of those real-time control which are constructed and right now working there in operation mode. We find out that this number is very high. For example, in 2011, we got about 60 rainfall event, and we reduced CSO by 500,000. So real-time control are really, really working. Opportunistic sewer separations, 115,000. Weir modifications, if we're going to do all those 15 CSO upgrades, it's going to reduce another 120,000. And the big part is the Red Creek crossing, which is going to be pushing 15 CMS flows to Goldbar wastewater treatment plant. It's going to reduce CSO by 1.5 million. But all those basically from our model. So we will be updating those numbers when we will get some good monitoring data. And as I mentioned in the previous slide, basically Yeah, some people are asking me all the time that how much money we have spent. We have spent until now about $142 million, and the inflation is not included in that. Another $57 million is in the book, and we're going to be spending that from 2011 to 2016. So if you could see, it's about $200 million. We are, and that is actual dollar. It's not inflated. So if you're going to put inflations there, in 2010 dollar, it's going to be very high. The previous one. Now I'm going to talk about some environmental monitoring, and Liliana is here. I'm happy she is here because this came from mostly from her. So I'm going to go through. We have water quality monitoring program. We are spending about $1 million with the collaboration of IPCOR and wastewater treatment plant and Alberta Capital Region wastewater treatment plant. We are doing some outfall monitoring too, doing continuous flow monitoring and lab testing. 80% of storm outfall we are doing water quality monitoring. 95% of the combined sewer discharges, those 19 CSO sites I mentioned, most of them we are monitoring those ones. And also in 2010, we did 600 samples, over 3,000 data tests, so you can see how much extensive we are, and every year we kind of increasing those ones. Accurate measure of loading from city to the river. Basically, the 80% of storm is from those 4 storm outfalls. 4 CSO outfalls, basically there are 3 CSO sites, basically I would say, that is contribute about 80% of CSO to the river. And those are the Red Creek CSO site, the Highland CSO site, and the Hardesty CSO site. The 4th one is look like Mill Creek. We have 3 CSO sites in Mill Creek area, so there's another. Additional monitoring, we are doing 11 tributaries, creeks, 6 storm lakes, wetlands, 4 intakes, and 2 wastewater effluent, which is Alberta Capital Region wastewater treatment plant and Goldbar wastewater treatment plant. This is another result from the source control. In 2010, we inspected basically 3,000 industrial wastewater sites, and those sites are 99% compliance with dental amalgam separator requirement, 25 kilogram of mercury diverted from sewers. This is a very good example of the TSS, which basically up to 2010 we have monitoring data, and beyond 2010 to 2020 basically those are the projected number. So you can see that from stormwater we have a huge TSS loading, and the second one is the Goldbar, and the third on the top there, which is kind of a blue color, it's from the CSO. So from the previous slide, basically TSS is the main contributor from the stormwater. Now I'm going to show you some of the water quality monitoring data. Basically in 2010, we took all those water quality monitoring data, historic data, and put it in the current model, and kind of forecasting back to the year where the flow monitoring, the water quality monitoring data was not available. So we cover a very big lifespan there to see that how the loading was impacting the North Saskatchewan River. So in this slide, if you could see, I don't know, but basically in this slide is showing the with wastewater treatment plant, what is the total phosphorus flowing to the river, and it's from I can see too. Yeah, so it's from 1920 to 2010, and you can see the data there. That basically the improvement started in 1957 when Goldbar wastewater treatment plant was constructed, and in 1996 and 1997 you can see that a huge drop there because the BNR was constructed there. Biological nutrient removal when that got into operation. So you can see the total phosphorus is gone down to the 1920 level. And the same thing for DOE, TK and ammonia. Next slide. Fecal coliform is the same trait. You can see that here that UV disinfection is got down to the 1920 level. And the TSS, as we talked earlier. Next slide. This is another chart. Basically, it is Edmonton Watershed Contaminant Reduction Index. And basically, it is a measure of contaminant loading to North Saskatchewan River, or contaminant discharges to North Saskatchewan River. So basically, what we are doing, we are tracking and reducing these discharges. If you could see those numbers there. So basically, on the y-axis, 10 is basically when there is no contaminant discharges to the river, and scale 2 is a severe. It is basically a severe severe contaminant discharges to the river. And in the middle, you can see that yellow. That's what we are looking for. That we are okay. So you can see that it's in 1999 when that UV facility started work. The numbers are pretty severe here because it is in the red zone here, but it started improving, and since then we are improving there. But when the implementation plan of the CSO strategy going to be implemented in 2016, basically we are expecting that this line going to go up to 7.8 there, so it's going to be in the green zone. So looking forward. Basically, we are doing a lot of programs there. So, zero discharge strategy, as I mentioned earlier, we finished first phase and we are working on the second phase. LID implementation, the guideline has been developed and we are working on the redevelopment area and the new development area on the standard and how we can be implementing those ones. Approval to operate renewal, it is coming. We're going to be submitting renewal of approval to operate from 2015 to 2025. So we are working with Alberta Environment. So to take it out. Combined sewer discharge strategy. I recently worked with the consultant, and we developed this strategy with a lot of stakeholders there. And we submitted this strategy because this strategy is going to take over of the original CSO's control strategy, which is going to be finished in 2016. So beyond 2016, this combined sewer discharge strategy is going to take over. And it is submitted to Alberta Environment on June the 1st in 2012, and hopefully we will get comments from them, and then the final report can be submitted to them in 2013. Mill Creek loading, we are working on it to reduce those loading too. Low flow diversion, I think it is also very, very important because we are separating the area in the combined sewer area if there is opportunity available. So those low flow diversions are very, very important because we want to convey the first flush to Goldbar wastewater treatment plant rather than discharge to the river. We are looking to some other opportunities, some other programs and other strategies too. We are also looking right now to reserve some natural area and doing some researches too. We are working continuously with the University of Alberta and doing a lot of researches there too.